alternative that says that our tax code is broken. It's insane. It's 60,000 some odd pages of absolute sheer insanity. People that say that we need meaningful tax reform and meaningful tax simplification in America. A tax code that once again encourages people to invest in America, not look for ways to go elsewhere. People that say the time has come to bring real political reform to Washington, D.C. in the form of term limits. Something that was part of the contract with America that was not fulfilled when Republicans had the majority. People are looking for the alternative. It's not just good enough to be the opposition. Being against Barack Obama is not enough. We have to be the alternative, an alternative that says that on health care, the solution to our health insurance problems is not to open an insurance company run by the federal government.
That's right.
The solution to our health insurance problems is to remove every governmental impediment that exists towards the creation of a vibrant private market, where every single person can buy the coverage they want at a price they can afford, independent of their employer. Just the way we buy our auto insurance and our life insurance. Now people ask me, the most important thing a candidate can tell you is why they're running for office. And I know mine is pretty simple. It's because I want to win the Nobel Peace Prize. To be nominated. I'm running for the U.S. Senate because I don't believe there's anybody else in Florida running that would stand up to Barack Obama. I'm honored by here tonight. I'm honored that you would all be here tonight. Let me tell you something, during the prayer we heard a prayer for humility. You have little to worry about, let me tell you. Yesterday, this is a true story, at about 10:15 in the morning, the TV is on, and all of a sudden George Stephanopoulos asked George Will about Florida, and George Will says, Marco Rubio is going to win the U.S. Senate race in Florida. At 10:15 and 30 seconds, Jeanette Rubio turned to Marco Rubio and says, I need you to throw this garbage outside now. I said, but George Will, she goes, George Will's not here today. So don't worry about humility. This campaign's not about me. It really isn't. 2 years ago, I could not have run. 2 years from now, I probably would not run. I just happen to be the person who today can do this. God has blessed me with the health and the family and good friends like so many here today that would encourage us to do this. I am not a political savior. There is no such thing as political messiahs. I don't even want to be a U.S. Senator, but they don't let you serve in the Senate unless you are, and I want to serve in the Senate. All I can tell you is that I know what I believe in. The principles that I have are principles I have had. They're not principles that I took a poll last week and decided to adopt. They're not principles that I embraced 6 months ago because Barack Obama began to plummet in the polls. My principles, it sounds like a year ago, at this time, everyone was telling me that what I believed in was outdated. That Reaganism was dead. And that America was inevitably a different nation, and therefore the role of government in America must be different. And I remember thinking very clearly, maybe it is. I don't believe it, but maybe it is. But if it is, they will have to do it without me. Because I know, because of my experience growing up, because of the neighborhood and the family that I was raised by, I know how unique and special this nation is. I can tell you that literally, not a day goes by now especially, that I don't thank God that Cuba was 90 miles from the United States and 90 miles from Spain. And you know what? All of us should be grateful in that way. Because every single person in this room, Whether it was you, your parents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, at some point in your lineage, there was someone who could not be who they were created to be in the place of their birth. They weren't born into the right family. They didn't run in the right circles. There was political oppression. For some reason, their God-given ability and their God-given ambition was not possible to pursue in the land of their birth. And so they came here. They came to a nation that we know as the United States, but to me, the history of America is pretty simple. It is the single greatest collection of go-getters in the history of all humanity. Whether your parents came on a Pan Am flight from Havana, or your ancestors came on the Mayflower, it is our common heritage as a people. The notion that this is the one place on earth where people from all over the world can look to and see people just like them fulfilling all their God-given potential, and so they know it's possible, and it gives them hope. But the problem is that this is not automatic. This extraordinary American story and promise is not self-fulfilling or self-perpetuating. Every single generation of Americans has had to confront the issues of their time and ensure that the next generation inherits all that promise. It's never been automatic. And I'm running, one of the reasons why I'm running is because I know that my 4 children, and yours, and your grandchildren, if we continue down the path that this president and this Congress will take us on, we'll become the first generation of Americans to inherit a diminished nation. They will be the first Americans that will inherit a nation no longer exceptional and more like the rest of the world. It will still be a powerful country.